You know, forget the intro. Forget the intro. What is happening? Keith Smith joining me. We're live on Front Office Show and Lakers Nation. What the hell is going on? Keith, is this real? I thought for sure this was fake.
Oh my God.
We got hacked here. Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic? What?
I don't even understand, Trevor. Like, I haven't even had a chance to pull it up in the trade machine and run it and see what it looks like. Like this is bonkers. Like, I'm trying very hard not to curse so we don't get in trouble, but like, this is effing bananas. Like, this is the craziest out of nowhere super duper star trade I can ever remember.
I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like
Anthony
this before.
Davis said, hey, let's get some help. And the Lakers were like, cool, but you're not going to like how it goes down. See you later, pal. Like, this is, I don't even understand.
How did this? I mean, Shams, the way the style that he used to tweet it, wasn't even his normal style. And then I looked over and went, "Oh my God, it's on Threads too. It's real." And now we've got Dan Wojcicki of the LA Times says it's real. Eric Pincus says it's real. Stein says it's real. Like, this is real. Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. Luka coming to the Lakers. Max Christie, who just had a great game. I just went off the air from an amazing Lakers win against the Knicks. Max Christie just had a great game defensively. He's going to the Mavs, and it's Maxi Kleber coming back to the Lakers with Markieff Morris. I think there might have been another piece in there. I got to find Keith. I am scrambling.
Yeah,
I've got over 100 messages on my phone right now.
Yeah,
this is insane.
Blowing up. I've got people asking me if it's real. People confirming it's real that I reached out to. I was literally in bed. I was finishing a stupid mobile game and like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed here in the next couple minutes. I was just gonna catch up on the final game of the night, and like, this is just, I'm completely shocked. Like, rarely do things shock me in the NBA, but I am 100% shocked by this. This is the craziest thing I can remember in years. All right, so full trade: Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris to the Lakers. Mavericks get Anthony Davis, Max Christie, the 2029 Lakers first. Jalen Hood-Schifino goes to the Jazz. Jazz also get the Clippers second and a second from the Mavericks. There's got to be some other minor piece here because the Jazz. Actually, no, they are touching the Mavs.
I'll head over to Spot Track and start punching this in.
Yeah, I am completely stunned at this. This is crazy. Now, if you're the Lakers, let's start there. You now have your post-LeBron star in place.
Yeah.
You've got him. You've got your guy going forward. Whatever.
Spot Track broke.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So many people are running in trying to do this trade that it broke.
Right, I have a let me check because I can check slightly different way. So, all right, Kleber, Doncic, and Markieff Morris, correct?
Yeah. So it's Kleber, Doncic, Markieff Morris going to the Lakers, Anthony Davis, Max Christie going to the Mavs, and then Jalen Hood-Schifino and a couple of seconds going to the Utah Jazz. Keith, while you're running the numbers from the Lakers side of things, I know we're live both on the Front Office Show and Lakers Nation. This, aside from when the Lakers won the title, this is the most people we've ever had in a live stream, by the way. We are setting a record right now. Aside from when the Lakers won the title, this is the most people I've ever had in a Lakers Nation live stream at the same time before. Welcome in, everybody. By the way, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, now's a good time to do it. And like the hell out of this. Smash that like button. We should be able to kill the records right now. From the Lakers side, boy, they need to find a center now. They really need to go find a big, that's for sure. But Luka is now their post-LeBron star. Clearly, they feel they can build around in a post-LeBron future. They can build around Luka more than they can build around Anthony Davis. I don't think they're wrong in that. What are the Mavs thinking now Kyrie and AD is the combo that's going to get them where they want to go? Luka is due for a contract deal, in 2026? we'd have to take a look at that. But wow,
yeah, I think the trade machine is broken.
It just crashed.
Yeah, it's just spinning. I mean, we're not. This is traffic like we've never seen. Let me take a look at something here with Luka. So Luka has 2 years left on his contract and then a player option. So this year, next year, and player option. So obviously he's extension eligible after this season is over. So you could, he's met the criteria already for the Supermax, so that the Lakers could Supermax him at any point with this. They will as soon as they can, as soon as they're able. They're obviously going to do that. There's a lot of people saying it's not real. Is this real? Is this fake? It's 100% real.
This is real.
Confirmed by so many NBA folks on the Lakers side, the Mavericks side, general NBA coverage. It's real. This is as shocking as this is. This is a real trade. Mark Stein saying the Luka did not ask for a trade. Mavericks just did this of their own accord.
Keith, what are the Mavs thinking?
I don't.
That's why I thought this can't be real. But it was not the Lakers side. It was, why would the Mavs do this?
I mean, don't get me wrong here. Anthony Davis is way better than Derek Lively.
Absolutely.
But you have Derek Lively, you have Daniel Gafford. Why do you need Anthony Davis at the expense of your franchise player? One of the
right.
Every year he's top 5 MVP candidate going into the season every single year. Luka Doncic, much younger than Anthony Davis. Health issues probably similar-ish. But I probably count on Luka to be healthier just because he's younger. I don't get this at all from the Mavericks side. And you get 1 first-round pick out of it. I would have needed both and Davis. And I mean, I don't want to be rude, but who cares about literally every other player in this deal? It's Max Christie, fine, nice role player, whatever. Jalen Hood-Schifino, fine. The Jazz are jumping in here and taking a flyer to pick up a couple picks for eating a contract to help him through. Maxi Kleber, broken foot, he's out.
We've got more.
Okay.
The Mavs approached the Lakers and offered Luka. Lakers brass met and believe Luka has the ability to be the face of their franchise for the next decade.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, while giving AD is a win-now move for Dallas.
I don't know how. Unless it comes out that Luka's calf thing is going to be months longer, but they were saying he's supposed to return before the trade deadline. So I don't win now move what? All right, Davis comes in while Kleber is out, or I'm sorry, Kleber's out too with the broken foot, but while Lively is out, Max Christie helps their perimeter defense, but win now more than you were going to win with Luka Doncic. I am stunned by this move by the Mavericks. Just does not make sense at all here. I gotta wonder if I'm Kyrie Irving, what is his thought process now?
This is from the Mavs now. Here we got the Mavs, their explanation. We've got Nico Harrison. I believe defense wins championships. I believe that getting an all-defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future.
I don't even
and Matt the Optimist. I'm sorry, Matt. We haven't even gotten to you. Welcome in, Matt the Optimist Peralta.
I didn't want to interrupt Keith. You were on a tangent, or you're on a thought there.
No, it's all good, man. All right, so Tim McMahon, the Mavs had major concerns about moving forward with Luka Doncic due to his constant conditioning issues and the looming commitment of another Supermax extension this summer. It's Luka freaking Doncic. What are we doing?
I'm clipping that. Oh my God.
I don't know how to process this yet.
This is insane. So here, from the Lakers side, my initial thoughts are now Austin doesn't fit at all now. Austin Reeves doesn't fit at all now, and you don't have a center. I mean, Austin can still play off ball.
Yeah, you probably
now
need to do
you've got
something.
2 heliocentric stars in LeBron and Luka.
Yeah,
you don't have a center. You need to go find a center.
Yeah,
the whole structure of the roster.
Hachimura doesn't fit anymore.
Really doesn't fit it. They got to change a ton of stuff on this roster now. There has to be a lot more coming.
I gotta go look at Jonas highlights.
I wouldn't even go there. I'm thinking bigger now. Now I'm thinking go get somebody better.
Oh, right? I would love that.
Go get someone better. You now you can put Hachimura and Reeves into a deal together. That's $30 million. Go do more. Like, not that it's the perfect fit. Your defense would be rough, but go get Vucevic.
No, and look, folks in the chat, I'm not complaining at all. I totally get why the Lakers did this and why this is the long-term move for the franchise, and you've got your star to build around for the future and all of that. I'm saying it's now the roster construction, which we felt like we were just talking about 30 minutes ago, about how the Lakers needed a piece or two and they could really contend for a championship because they had found something and they found some consistency with their team and all of that. All of that has now been just torn up, right? All of that has been put into chaos, and you're going to have to now reassemble things. It's not about this was bad. That's not what we're saying. Now, though, you're going to have to fit the puzzle pieces together again. This is the part that I love about the NBA. It's assembling the roster and putting together the pieces that fit. Now, the pieces have completely changed, and the Lakers puzzle is 100% different than it was just 30 minutes ago. That's what we're talking about right now.
The Lakers puzzle is different today and for the next 5 years. Like now this is, I'm not going to go as far as saying this is Luka Doncic's team today, right? LeBron's still there. Let's not be stupid. But that's very clearly where we're headed with this. This is going to be Luka's team, and you're going to build out everything moving forward around what fits around Luka, right? And you were going to do that with AD, but AD is obviously an extremely different kind of player. You could have gotten just about anything with Luka. You got to really, that was the Mavs thing, right? You got to get the right guys around him. But this is, I am completely stunned at this trade. Let's go back to, started texting each other.
This is more shocking than the Durant trade. Let's put it that way.
This is 1,000 times more shocking
than
the
Durant
trade. You and I started texting each other saying he got hacked, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I had that same text going with like 12 other people.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can't believe Shams got hacked on the week of the trade deadline. Like, holy crap. And now too, no one, I don't care if nothing else happens, no one can say this was a boring trade deadline.
No, that's dead. It was already dead, Keith. There were 6 trades already. That was already dead.
Yeah.
Guys.
This is crazy.
Guys, are we sure LeBron stays?
Oh.
I mean, I
would assume.
Right? Like, why wouldn't he? Right? I think, play with Luka, go get whoever it is, I would say.
I just don't know what to believe anymore.
The comments are coming in so fast. Like, we can't, dude, we have like 75,000 people watching right now.
This is literally 75,000 people. Guys, again, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Let's get the likes up.
Yeah.
I reacting to this on the fly, just like you are.
I literally refunded movie tickets for tonight because
attaboy. At least for you, it's only 9:42.
Yeah, I was like, am I really I'm gonna sit for 2 hours and me scrolling on my phone? Probably not.
Question here: are the Mavs getting paid 2 second-round picks to take a $4 million expiring contract?
Yeah,
because they're not giving up 100%. Anything in the trade, right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't look. Not the Jazz, you mean, right?
Yeah, the Jazz. Sorry, did I say Mavs? 100%. I meant Jazz.
Yeah. 100%.
Isn't that a crazy? That's crazy good value for the Jazz.
Yeah. It looks like it's a Clippers second, and then it says a second from the Mavs. The Mavs don't.
The Lakers have the Clippers second this year. That's where that's coming
and then
from.
They're getting another pick too. It looks like so. I'm very curious. So.
Yeah. So obviously there's you've got the Clippers pick going to the Jazz. So that's great work by the Jazz, by the way. They're not going to get a lot of talk in this, obviously. That's great work by the Jazz. They take on an expiring contract for a rookie player, and they get paid to take on a $4 million expiring contract.
We're not going to spend a ton of time on it, but the Jazz made another trade today. Traded Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills for PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's expiring contract, to be very clear, and Mo Bamba, they're gonna have to waive somebody to do this trade. There was a lot of talk, and I was told this from folks with the Jazz. We're not just gonna up and waive PJ Tucker because we'd like to see what else is out there if we could use that contract. Another trade that might be out the window now. They may just waive him and be like, we're done. Like we're done with that portion of this because they're gonna have to do something. They could also just waive Mo Bamba too. That's another option that they could do there and just move forward with just bringing in Hood-Schifino. This is their part of this is the most simple part, right? How many times have you and I talked in the last 3 weeks? Jalen Hood-Schifino is going to be a flyer for one of these teams that's rebuilding. Bring him in, see if he pops. Great, we go. If he doesn't, okay, it is what it is. We tried, and if you're Utah, we get paid 2 second-round picks to eat his contract in this deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A good deal for the Jazz. By the way, everybody who is in the chat, those of you just jumping in and saying this is fake, this is not real, all that, this is real. This is 100% real. This is not fake. This is not April Fool's. Yeah. This is real life. This is happening.
Did not get hacked. It's been
Luka is a Laker.
Multiple reporters.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is going to the Mavs. Everybody, I mean, is shocked. This is shocking the entire league right now. This is insane.
Guaranteed, there are like trades that teams had in like place that are like,
that's all blows up.
Yeah, this is now completely out of the water. I guarantee teams are like, whoa, hold on. Like if Luka was available, like why did you not give us a shot too?
Yeah,
because I mean, at the end of the day, AD is great and will be great for another probably 4 or 5 seasons. But it was AD in a first in a role player. Like for Luka Doncic, like a perennial MVP candidate every single season. I just like this is if I'm the Lakers, like this is one where like the Mavericks are like, okay, here's what we have. You mute it and you look around the room and like is this like what's happening? We
really
punked.
Yeah.
Is this AD's new reality show where he plays pranks on people? Like,
this is the best episode.
This is the first episode of Foul Play ever.
You my God! Be like, what is happening here? Now, all of a sudden, you're like, no, yeah, hey, we accept. Let's go. Like, call it in.
This is the trade you always do if you're the Lakers, but holy,
my God, this is insane. This is fantasy.
This is fantasy basketball, but in real life,
it is. This is 2K.
Yeah, it is what it feels like. Yep. Yeah, this. Okay. Yeah, 2K would be like, no, this is decline.
Yeah, 2K would reject this trade.
Do you see the Trailblazers tweet? Breaking news: another win. I love it.
So, all right, so let's think about this. So, in terms of the Lakers roster, the Mavs roster now they're building. Now it's AD, but you already have Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, so that's weird on their part. But obviously, Kyrie is now leading that offense. It's a Kyrie AD combo in Dallas with Clay out on the wing. For the Lakers, what's your starting? I mean, it's LeBron, it's Luka, clearly. Austin, assuming he's still on the team, and then Dorian Finney-Smith and
insert center here. No, you probably go with Jackson Hayes for now.
Right, I mean Jackson Hayes at the time, but I mean we saw it, Keith, in the game tonight. Sure. Jackson Hayes were pulling him
nominal starter.
He was like the nominal starter. He got pulled like 3 minutes.
Yeah, you pull him out, you go small with Rui and DFS, Jared Vanderbilt. Some combination there, but my guess is they're just not done. Right, there'll be
they can't be
coming to get a viable starting center. This is where now do you go in and say, hey, we got Luka. Now are you talking, hey Utah, we just did one deal, but it would have messed it up to do more, but does Connect in the other first work for Kessler? Like, let's have that conversation because now we can go forward. And then on the backside of LeBron years, you're moving forward with Kessler and Luka as kind of your two guys there with that. So that's at least worth the call to make. Who knows, but yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, and like I said too, go or try to go bigger, right? See what you can do. Putting, Austin Reeves now should be on the table.
He should
on
be
the Lakers because it's not a awful. Your issue there is you're going to struggle to build a really good defense, but maybe you just lean in and say, screw it, we're going to score 130 points a night and go all offense.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, and that's where Austin becomes a more difficult fit. Because if you're going to have Luka and LeBron on the floor, everyone around them has to be able to defend at a very high level and shoot the three. Those are you must be able to do both of those things.
And you have no rim protection left now either. After this. But I mean, still, this to me says, and I want to be very clear. I'm not saying the Lakers are punting the season.
No.
But this move is for
sets them up
the next decade. This is, we now have our star in place for the next 10 years that we're going to build everything around in Luka Doncic. That's what this is about, right? This is not just about, hey, we're trying to, better the team for this year. Cause you could argue, are they better right now? I don't know, because the roster feels so incomplete.
Right. It is. We'll see what their roster looks like on Friday.
I don't know when Luka's even going to play, right? That's the other piece of this. The reporting was probably before the trade deadline, but or before the All-Star break. I think it actually was, to be more clear. But who knows? Maybe that's not really where it is.
Hey, Trevor was saying all year they're not trading AD. They're not trading AD. I never would have imagined, never in my wildest dreams would have thought the Mavs would give the Lakers Luka for AD. If you told me that, then that changes everything, right? I never would imagine that they would do this.
I think on the show we've been so adamant that we wouldn't be trading AD unless it's for another star. I mean, this kind of qualifies.
Yeah, this is crazy. Jay Saul said, "I love Luka more than the next guy, but I don't know how to feel about losing Max and AD's defensive presence." Yeah, they've got the pieces all don't fit anymore. And now they've got except for Finney Smith, I think still obviously he fits in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
There's some guys who still fit, but they're going to have to restructure a lot of stuff for this roster to make sense now. I mean, Luka is great. Don't get me wrong, he is great, and I can't wait to see him out there for the Lakers. But you're going to have to change a lot about this roster, not just personnel wise, but even how this team plays. He is not, when we talk about plug and play players, that's not Luka. Your offense revolves now around Luka, and you figure everything out around him. This is going to be, I mean, good Lord, JJ Redick's head's going to be spinning how he's going to have to adjust things for this, because this changes the whole
everything.
Team is now changed.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. You have to reorbit all the stuff you were going to do here in the short term, long term, everything. What they need is, honestly, they need to get to the All-Star break. So you can really reset. That's your opportunity to, all right, what are we doing here? And this is not unique with this trade. Anytime you make a major trade at the trade deadline, it's like a week of, we just got to figure it out. We're running with the pieces that are left behind and figuring this out. Oh man,
I don't know if you guys have brought it up, but now I'm just looking at this again. I just realized they traded the 2029 first, and now that they have Luka, is it going to be really that much of is it going to be as valuable? Do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have rather had the 2031.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We'll push it further out. I mean, we've been having that conversation. It sounds weird, but you almost start backwards and then come in. If the Mavericks' whole logic is what's coming out of the Dallas-based reporters of they were concerned with his conditioning and was he ever going to get there and all that, you were in the finals last year.
Right?
You
were in the finals.
You think you'd be trading Kyrie before Luka?
Yeah,
but
I can't. I mean, I can't rectify. If anybody is trying on Spot Track, the site is working. It's just going extremely slow
because everybody's crushed it.
Was this deal the best the Mavs could have got for Luka?
Yeah, I don't know.
What would the all-in deal have looked like elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean, if you're almost any of these other teams, like I don't know how the hell they would have made it work, but if you're the Thunder, I'd be like, you want every single pick? Okay.
Yeah, I would have just.
Here's all of them.
So Dave McMenamin reporting LeBron James just learned of the Davis Doncic trade after the Knicks game while he was out to dinner with family. He was surprised, is processing it, and had no idea it was in the works.
Jeez.
Do you buy that?
I do.
Do you
think the Lakers did it without telling LeBron?
I think so. This came so out of nowhere. Like,
no
honestly,
rumblings.
That's the only way to do trades this big is you have to keep it completely.
It's silent. Owner to owner, GM to GM, and no one else is involved.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron hears about it. You got the agencies. Now you've got people trying to, trash it. Yep.
Yeah.
And this is from Mark Stein. Said the Mavs and Luka until tonight were heading towards a 5-year contract extension in July worth $345 million. But Nico Harrison made the call to abruptly change the direction of the franchise. Wow.
This is a I gotta say, guys, in history. It's crazy.
There's more coming. There has to be. There's more coming.
You can't. This cannot be your roster the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Just can't be. Like, it just doesn't work that this way. All right, let's see. I'm trying to get these trying to get this.
I am.
See if I can get this one.
Let me get in some of our chat questions. Watched it go get Vooch from the Bulls. Well, Vooch is a terrible fit. If you've got Luka and LeBron now, you need defense. You need defense.
150, give up 140.
Yeah. Koa, what the actual F? Yeah, right. Someone make it make sense. I don't know what to say. Braun and Luka, guys, is this real?
You know who the real winner of this is?
Who?
Dorian Finney-Smith, who gets to play with the 2 best corner 3-point passers ever.
That is true. That is true. My pet dog can be a GM. And there's some Lakers fans that do not like this. And Max just had a really great game. We were all just singing his praises. And then AD, and it felt like the team had been finding something defensively. Why did we trade AD? They have lost their mind.
Yeah,
this is called selling at its absolute highest, man.
Luka, guys, like
that's it. That's it.
We're gonna go into every season with him in the top 5 candidates for MVP for the next.
You have someone to build around post LeBron
years.
now.
Yeah,
that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Exactly what this is. Yeah.
Does this make the Lakers better right now? Probably not. Depending on what they do from here until Thursday, right? And then you have to try to bring everything together and create cohesion with a tiny runway here, right? That's not going to be easy to do. But for the future of this team, the Lakers now have a star for the next decade. And they've got somebody. We were just talking about this yesterday on the podcast. I had somebody asking me, one of our channel members asking me, what are the Lakers going to do post LeBron? What's that going to look like? And I talked about how after Kobe, there was that gap. And the Lakers are getting meetings with Carmelo, and they're getting meetings with LaMarcus Aldridge and all these other guys, and nobody's saying yes, because the hardest thing to do is get the first guy. Now they've got the first guy for the next 10 years, and you can start attracting the next guy coming in a post-LeBron world. That's what this is about. And I don't know what it's going to mean for the Lakers this season. They've had a good season so far. They're the 5 seed in the West. They were really starting to turn a corner and playing really good basketball, and the team was really coming together. But this is a move for not this season. This is a move for the next 10 years in mind. And I fully get it from a front office perspective why they would do this.
You know the adage, it's the Lakers don't rebuild, they reload. This is it.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely. Yeah. I mean, I've seen the anti-Laker fans out there. Like, this is just like a bailout, for like, here you go. Here's your future set up, if things are getting a little sideways, crazy, with this. But yeah, I mean, this is, let's be clear. They didn't give up nothing here.
No,
right?
They gave up stuff.
Gave up a real player, an all-star player, a guy who be an all-star for the next couple years, but who knows what the pick will be. And I mean, again, Max Christie, I'm not like, I don't know. he's a role player. He's fine.
He is.
But like, but that's just that's like Kleba coming in on the other side. It's you're swapping around a couple role players. Like this is
Max has a lot more upside than
100%, but still role players, right? I mean, the only guys that matter here are Luka and AD. Luka, AD in the first round pick. Like that's what really matters here.
Guys, just to throw this out there to everybody, I'm looking right now, both on Front Office and on Lakers Nation. Look, like 20% of the people watching right now are actually subscribed. Yeah,
let's get those likes.
If you're in the 80% that is not subscribed right now, smash the subscribe button. Smash that subscribe button right now. Get subscribed. We're going to keep you up to date, whether you're on Front Office or Lakers Nation. We're going to keep you up to date on all things going on with this trade and everything else going on in the NBA. If you're over on the NBA Front Office show, hit that subscribe button right now for us.
And like Spike, let's go.
Yeah, and like this video.
And we'll be here for a while breaking
this
down.
Oh my God, guys. We just crossed 100,000.
I know. This is crazy.
Welcome in. Tell your friends. Tell them the news is real.
Yeah. Showtime DJ's message here is 100% correct.
This is everything.
Just happened.
This is literally everyone right now.
Yeah.
Not even just Lakers fans, Mavs fans, everyone.
Everybody. Yeah. This is absolute like
chaos.
I mean, just again, every single person's reaction was
fake.
Shams got hacked.
Fake.
Because that's how crazy this is. Like it just, you just don't see guys superstar for superstar trade like this in season like this.
I can't think of anything trade deadline this dramatic ever.
No, this is nuts. I mean, this is a trade deadline we're never going to forget. This is going to go down in history as one of the most insane trade deadlines we've ever seen. I can't believe that all these Luka jersey swaps that have been out there forever are now relevant.
Right?
This is real.
Anthony AD's waving his trade kicker to push the trade through. Okay. I think that was one of the issues with a couple places were popping up that it wasn't going through. So remember, player can always waive his trade bonus. So that says he's at least on board to some extent with this, right? Like that.
Yeah. I mean, they sent him to a good team. So
yeah. I mean, they're should be good. Right, I think they should be good the rest of the way. I'm not going to take the Celtics hat off because my hair's a mess because I was already in bed.
I was really almost on my way at the door. So,
what's the center plan for the Lakers? I would assume the Lakers are now going to be on the market pursuing a center. They're going to everything's going to shift here for LA, and I mean, at this point, like all of our options, everything that we've been talking about on the trade market for the Lakers. Everything is out the window. Everything, the entire slate is wiped clean now, and everything is on the table now. And who knows what direction all of this is going to go. All I know, guys, is it makes no sense for this to be it. For this, I think there's more to come for the Lakers to put some pieces together here.
I've seen people say, "Can you just play LeBron at the 5?" I mean, sure, for some minutes you can, but not the whole game. And he's not. Like a couple people are like, Draymond does it. He's smaller than LeBron is, but Draymond is like one of those super unique, like defensive players that it's just a different thing
without the offensive burden too.
Yeah, exactly. With nowhere near the offensive burden, and you would just task him with doing too much. Like,
no, not my AD. What does this mean for the Lakers now and in the future? I mean, it means Luka is their star now. They're building around Luka. I would assume they're going to extend him. Keith, what will because he's been traded, is that going to change the extension for Luka?
Yeah. So what will happen now is he can no longer get that supermax.
Right.
He can't jump to the 35%. You can only get that from the team that drafted you, or if you're traded while on your rookie scale deal. Yeah, so he'll get. I'll run the math here in just a second. So I can tell you, because the Lakers will be able to give him still a 5-year max extension. Right. They just won't be able to jump him up to the 35%. So give me 1 second. I'll run the math. We'll start at projected $59.5 million, which is pretty solid if you can get it. 345. No, I apologize. He won't start at 59. He'll start at 51. He can't jump tiers. 296 is where he'll
5 years for 296.
Yeah, that's ultimately what he'll end up signing for.
So
it'll
Luka
probably be a
loses some money by
4+1. He may do it this summer and just do 4 years added on. We've seen that before. That guys have done that, so he may just do a 4-year max extension. Yeah, that brings runs his contract out. But that'll be discussion for this summer.
Do they go for Walker Kessler now? Who knows? Who knows what they go and do?
Did you realize Pelinka traded for AD and traded AD for Luka now?
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, somebody said that in the chat. Said, I think we won the Pelicans trade now.
Sorry, I don't want to poke fun at the Pelicans. They're going through it this season.
Oh my God. No way LeBron okayed this. I mean, if from what Dave McMenamin said, LeBron didn't know. They kept him in the dark. He didn't know. And maybe that is worth discussing as a shift here. Keith, I don't recall off the top of my head who Luka is with in terms of his agency, but obviously you've got a big-time clutch sports guy with Anthony Davis now on his way out, and Luka coming in, and you didn't run this by LeBron. If you're believing that reporting, that's interesting. You know, the clutch control over the Lakers, maybe that's not quite as strong as it was a few years ago now, if something like this is happening without the knowledge of LeBron James.
Yeah, it could be. Luka's with WME Bill Duffy.
Okay.
I believe, unless there's been a change that I'm not aware of. But yeah, that's a I mean, this could be something, you know, who knows, right? I don't think this leads to LeBron leaving. I certainly don't think this leads to him leaving in the next few days before the trade deadline, because that would be I can't even wrap my head around. I can't wrap my head around this. But yeah, I mean, maybe it does lead to what does this offseason look like, right? You know, there's not going to be teams with cap space, so that gets super complicated, and we have to figure all that out down the line. But yeah, I am extremely, extremely curious to see, you know, where the Lakers go in the next 4 days, 3.5 days, whatever it is, before the trade deadline, and where they go, you know, in the future, because this is very clearly going to be turned over to Luka Doncic's team here fairly soon.
Yeah, fairly soon indeed. Keith, I'm just scrolling real quick, checking out some Mavs fans. Mavs fans are not pleased.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people pissed.
Yeah, I think if I was a Mavs fans, I'd be upset.
Yeah. What is this? I mean, what does this even mean for them moving forward? Now, is this? I mean, now you have Kyrie and AD as your stars. You're built around.
Free agent this summer too. He's got a player option, so let's not forget that. So if Kyrie's like, I don't love this. Now, remember, Kyrie and AD have talked about playing together for literally years.
They're a natural fit. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I think they'll be good. But yeah, I mean, if I'm the Mavs, am I now willing to move Derek Lively? Right? Because I mean, maybe AD gets what he wants. He gets to play the 4. It's like, hey, you want to play the 4? Fine, but you're going to do it.
He definitely can't on the Mavs.
You know, so yeah, I mean, maybe that's how that goes, and you just keep both of them. So yeah, let's see, you know, how that all comes together.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see how the Mavs put all these pieces together. I mean, PJ Washington, you still have him. You've got Daniel Gafford. You got Derek Lively. You got AD. That's going to be really interesting for them. And then, I mean, the Mavs, aside from the fact that maybe you're actually overpopulated at the center position now, I think the Mavs actually may fit together better around Kyrie now, with him being kind of the ball dominant guy. The Lakers don't fit together at all anymore. But again, I would assume other moves are coming here. Is Kessler a priority now? I don't know. Some center has got to be coming.
Yeah, you got to do something. Yeah, I mean, you got to separate two parts here: short term versus long term. Short term, who knows? Long term, it's Luka. Right, like that's.
Do the Lakers have enough to even get Kessler right now, since they just gave up their 29 first, though?
It really depends on how part of a
connect in 2031 is.
Yeah,
that would be the move, right? Yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest one probably. Yeah. If the Jazz are on board with that, but yeah, I mean, both sides. I mean, we did did quite a bit on the Lakers side. So yeah, for Dallas, like, where do you go from here, right? I mean, I would assume
Gafford has to be
Gafford's
expensible,
probably available, right? You could look to move him because you need to rebalance a little bit and bring in a little bit more offense now. There. I mean, they're doing okay without Luka in the lineup. I gotta wonder if that's part of it. If they were like,
that's where my thought went.
Like we've gotten a good look this year of what it could look like, and throw in the best one of the best defensive big men in the league, with Kyrie and the other guys we have, and let's push this forward. So, I mean, people kept saying the Mavs were open to doing something big. I just I never would have envisioned Luka getting traded,
right?
Just still I can't. I still struggling to decide if I'm actually awake or if did I fall asleep so quickly that I just fell into a deep dream here.
This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel real, does it?
Real.
This percent. Do we praise right? Yeah. What do we think? Do you like? There's been a lot of pessimism or criticism of Rob Pelinka. I've poked fun at him for spending too much time at Disneyland. Things, but all in tongue in cheek. What do you guys think about Rob Pelinka?
I think he deserves praise for this move, personally.
Yeah, I think this is huge. I mean, you just set your future, right? Yep. Like, you got one of the best players in the league. I know there's issues with his defense. We know the conditioning stuff, and I'm not sure I really buy the Mavs story coming out. That sounds like stuff teams do when they make a trade that they know their fans aren't going to love. But I think this is huge.
This is a legacy move.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the easy thing would have been make another smaller move.
Yep.
And then just, hey, we got AD. He's our guy going forward. Everybody's on board with that. That's how we'll go when LeBron retires. But I mean, this is the move to say, nah, let's go get our guy. Let's go get the real star we want.
I mean, this makes sense from the Lakers' perspective in so many ways. Like, we had been talking so much on the Lakers Nation YouTube channel just about are the Lakers contenders or not. And I mean, the answer we kept coming back to routinely was no. And if the answer is no, you have to rebuild or pivot. And this is pivoting in the biggest way possible. So they picked a direction.
They definitely did. They've picked a direction. So Dan Wojcicki of the LA Times, I think this sums it up very nicely when you talk about them pivoting. An NBA executive that Dan Wojcicki reached out to. My first thought is, how are LeBron James and Luka going to play together? My second thought, if you're getting Luka, you do it anyway.
Yep.
That's a great way to sum it up.
Yeah, that's a great way to sum it up. You don't say no to a franchise-altering player in their prime. You just never do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it all comes down to. Did AD
just tweeted? I don't know what we call that emoji, but it's like the whoa emoji, I guess.
Who did?
Like Dirk.
Oh,
wait, I gotta look it up. The can't believe it, or
it's like partial shocked? Embarrassment, shocked emoji. Like, crazy,
unbelievable. Fravel said this is a dumb trade. I can't believe LeBron played tonight and did an interview with a straight face. He definitely knew. The fact that he did makes me think that maybe he really didn't know.
Yeah. I wonder if the Lakers are, hey, we're doing our thing, right? Like we're going to do our thing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it is their franchise. Like, if you're there, yeah. So more confirmation now, AD waiving his trade bonus and, everything there. So
let me ask you guys this. If LeBron asks out now and says, I don't, you traded AD, we don't have as much of a chance to win right now, and we'll see what things look like. But could we get to that point where LeBron just says, you know what,
go to the Cavs.
This doesn't make sense?
Go to Cleveland. I mean, he could. Like, yeah, absolutely could.
Throw me Jared Allen. Let's rock.
Yeah. I mean, geez. Like, yeah. I don't think it'd be now. But yeah, we'll see. It's I mean, yeah, he absolutely could.
He'd be completely absolved of wanting out now. Everyone would understand.
Yeah, I mean, you understand, but obviously, if the Lakers were to trade LeBron, you're not getting a lot for him right now, right? I mean,
you're not, but I mean,
it's a hard trade to make in season.
Exactly.
I think LeBron knows the value of playing with another star player. Why not? Play it out with Luka. Maybe this summer, maybe that changes his plans. I mean, I by no means am I reporting anything, but do the Lakers have a feeling like he's done after the year? Like he's calling it a career, and now we had to get our guy now to move forward. Who knows? Like
he did say we'll see when asked if he'll play in New York again next season. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be a standard now, right? Like
yes,
So there were rumors, and I reported on them, and I would have to dig, but it was over the summer. There were rumors that I reported on the Lakers maybe having interest in Luka. And at the time, it was kind of like, well, duh, right? Like, of course, everybody would have interest in Luka, but that was a while ago that they had eyes on him to be their next guy in a post-LeBron era. And that was a little while ago. Man, and at the time, we all reacted. Every comment was the same thing. That's never happening. The Mavs are never giving him up, and all of that. And here we are. I'm in disbelief, man. I'm in disbelief.
Giannis tweeted the cold world emojis.
Yeah.
So I mean,
AD did one too many ESPN interviews.
I'll say too. You think about this. This kind of does like. Any superstar thinks like I'm locked in with my franchise. Like if Luka wasn't locked in Dallas, then it's why I've seen a couple Hawks fans like we won the Trae Young trade, which is also very funny. So,
let's go.
That's funny.
I thought we'd take care of our stars. Did AD do something to Rob behind closed doors? I mean. I guess that if the AD didn't want to do this, does he waive his no trade clause? Or not no trade clause, his trade kicker?
He waived his trade bonus, yes.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like his trade bonus, if the what's being presented here is that, well, AD wouldn't have wanted to do this. This is not the Lakers taking care of their stars. Yeah. If AD was not on board with this, he doesn't waive that.
Yep. And then it would have. Just without getting too deep into it, because I know we have a super wide audience, this would be probably something we break down further on Front Office Show later. But if he didn't waive his trade bonus, it runs into issues for Dallas because they're hard capped at the first apron. So they needed to be in a spot where they could come in underneath that, do what they needed to do. So yeah, they're fine. Dallas is actually going to come in under the tax now. Because also Kleba goes out, Markieff Morris goes out with that. So Markieff Morris back to the Lakers. That's you get that going on now. So but yeah, I mean, this is just like just completely like bonkers. Yeah, I mean, people are like, it's what I'm seeing now is like the beat writers are all getting
little bits. Here and there.
Yeah, little bits of information coming out. And then the beat writers are getting their own fans for the teams they cover. Like, why did we not make an offer? And basically everybody's like, no one really seemed to know Luka was available. Like that seems to be, we're going to find out later. I'm sure with this that like this was, it sounds like Dallas went to LA and said, let's do this. And that was it. Like there wasn't, we're going to go through a long, period of shopping him and all kinds of other stuff.
I've got Lakers all day, every day, who's done some interviews with AD and stuff, said sources tell him AD was completely caught off guard by the trade and he feels betrayed. But again, like waiving the trade bonus, like that seems to suggest that wouldn't be the case. Otherwise,
I will say he might be in a spot where it is like it might have been, hey, we'll find a way to make it work with you getting your trade bonus then, even if that means we got to pull in Detroit or somebody else.
Oh.
So like we're doing it anyway. So you can either do it this way and go to a team that keeps more guys and doesn't have to give up an additional player. And he might have just been like, fine, I'll waive the trade bonus. And remember he waived the trade bonus to go to the Lakers in the first place too. So I mean, I'll take it. I would give up that money, but I'm also not making $40 million otherwise. So,
Luka and Austin Reeves backcourt is gross. Trade LeBron too, I guess. I mean, we'll see.
It's gross defensively.
It's gross. Offensively, it should be fantastic. If you want to make the age argument, it would have been better to trade a 40-year-old for Luka. Yeah, but I mean, talk about trading LeBron for Luka, but the Mavs weren't. The Mavs clearly say they want to go all in on defense, and that's why they're trading. And plus, LeBron has a no trade clause and all of that. But the Mavs want to go all in on defense, and that's what they want. Why not ask for Gafford and Lively? I mean, I'm sure if you're the Lakers, I mean, you could, but guys, if you're Rob Pelinka, and Mavs,
the audacity.
Let's do a little pretend phone call, right? You're Rob Pelinka, and you're on the phone, right? And let's say it's you, and you're sitting with Jeannie and the rest of your folks, and it's Jesse Buss and it's everybody else. You're sitting there, and you're like, "Wait, you give me what? Luka, okay, for AD." All right, guys, we can get Luka for AD and a pick. No, seriously, no, really, this is real. Should I ask for Gafford or Lively or anything like that? Oh, okay. Oh, deal. Call it in. Call it in. Don't mess around with anything. Just let's call it in. Right? I mean, that's probably where you don't want to trip anything up. You're like, just get this done, and then we'll figure out the rest later.
I would say too. The first question would have been like Luka Doncic or Luka Garza from the Timberwolves, like the two-way guy. Like which one are we? Which Luka are we getting here? Okay, it's Doncic, and let's go. So Shams was just on ESPN, and I'll read what he said. This deal materialized in the shadows. LeBron James had no idea this was coming. Anthony Davis had no idea this was coming. I'm told Luka Doncic is still stunned about this trade.
Wow,
Jesus.
So all three of the stars that are really and Kyrie we don't know about, but LeBron didn't know, AD didn't know, and Luka didn't know.
Yeah.
Is that what that's saying? Luka did not know?
And that was the reporting too, right? That Luka had no idea this was coming.
Oh my God. I mean, guys, that's just not the way the league operates right now. The way the league operates, and we talked about it a year ago. Rob Pelinka mentioned it when he was, I think it was AD, said he was constantly texting Rob Pelinka, and Rob mentioned that he's always texting with LeBron and AD and stuff and running stuff by them. Like, that's how the league tends to operate. Teams check in with their stars as they're doing stuff of, hey, it's not always, are you going to allow us to do this or anything like that? But it's, hey, just a heads up, I'm going to be doing this. What do you think about this guy? What do you think about that? It's not, we just go get stuff done and we don't tell you. So all of these guys not knowing is not as shocking as the deal itself, but that's pretty shocking too.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I mean, but it gets very hard to make a trade this big if you're not that way, right? Like you're gonna have to keep it pretty quiet there. So for anybody wondering, Spot Track Trade Machine is back up and fully running. We've got some additional servers working now.
Keith, if you want to run the trade there on Spot Track, let's put it up on the screen as it's as it actually is broken down with Spot Track. And then we'll share your screen.
Yeah, so now everybody gets to learn how inept I am at StreamYard, so that's fun. Let's see.
I can do it if you.
No, you've shown me like 6 times. I just need to remember it.
All right. So Matt, while Keith is doing that, I know obviously we're on Lakers Nation, we're on Front Office both right now.
Okay.
If you are. Okay, so Keith, as you're working through that, yeah, I see it. I can add it to the stage. Let me know when it's done and all.
Yeah, go ahead and add it to the stage.
Okay, so here's the actual trade.
So this is what it looks like here on Spot Track. So you can see, so the mechanics AD in. We don't calculate the trade bonus in because we're just trying to tell you, is it possible anyway? So AD, Max Christie go in to Dallas, Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris to the Lakers, and then Jalen Hood-Schifino to the Jazz. Now, here's the things, though, with this. So if we go over to the Lakers active roster part, Jalen Hood-Schifino goes to Utah via trade exception. That trade exception that they have. So he would go through that way, and then the only way it works on the Mavericks to the Lakers side is if Markieff Morris comes in via the minimum exception. So that's how you get around some of the aggregation issues that this would have caused and all sorts of stuff here for any of the teams involved. So, but as you can see, fully legal trade. So we're
Now,
there. Utah's gonna have to waive somebody, but that's
sure.
the last part.
In terms of actually processing this and getting the players to their teams, and Luka actually putting on a Lakers jersey and AD putting on a Mavs jersey and all of that, Keith, talk to me while I'm working on something here. Can you talk to me a little bit about the timing of all this?
Yeah, so my guess is what will happen is everybody's being informed, obviously, now of this through all the reporting. So what will happen here is they're going to sit down. They'll do the trade call. I assume this will happen as soon as tomorrow because Dallas and the Lakers presumably both want to get on to whatever else they may do with this. So where this is a legal trade, you don't need to pull in a fourth team. There's always the chance until a trade is official somebody else says, hey, can we jump in on that? We'll do this or that. But it seems like this is done with that. So you're going to get this probably made official tomorrow. The Jazz trade that they made earlier today with the Clippers is already official. So the Jazz will very likely waive a player coming out of that trade. And then the Jazz will, kind of move forward, from there, with this part here. And that'll be where it'll all go. For them. So I think this is going to be a big deal for these teams to get this pushed through as soon as possible. So my guess is probably tomorrow that this will be made official, and that's how it'll go through.
Wow. So I mean, in theory, Luka could play on Tuesday against the Clippers.
Yeah, he's still hurt.
He's still hurt, but oh no, wait, I'm sorry. It was February 8th. I was thinking it was earlier. Yeah. February 8th was the return date that he was targeting.
Yeah. So we're probably talking another week, call it. Right?
Another week. Okay.
By the time we get there. So
and I wonder even if they just say, well, let's post trade deadline, let's do something there or something like or post All-Star break.
I mean, I think it just really is, where like if he's feeling good, get him out there, see what it looks like, right? You're same thing that the Mavericks would have done. You're not rushing him by any means, but you get it done as soon as you can.
4 months ago, you made a video titled "Lakers Targeting Luka," and I called you crazy. What's next? Reeves, Rui, and picks for Bam, or Rui and picks for Turner? I mean, like, here's the thing: like, there's people out there every time any kind of a trade comes up, like trade, and people are talking. And Keith, we see it all the time on like the Real GM trade board when we talk about trades on our show. All people come in all the time and say that's stupid. That'll never happen. Stupid Lakers fans think that everything's going to happen and all this kind of stuff. Like this is forever going to be the trade that we point to and go, look, things can be unlikely, but see, anything can happen. Who the hell knows what's going to happen in the NBA? And it's part of the reason why we love this league. Anything can happen. Crazy stuff. It's not often, but crazy stuff does happen in this league.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's stuff flying around. I'm seeing not random people, but like it seems to be speculation, but it's like, do the Warriors and Lakers get together and talk LeBron now?
For
like
what?
I've seen, people like, do you, hey, let's rekindle those trade talks, from a year ago. Like that would be
a year ago, the Warriors called the Lakers and said, we want to talk about a LeBron trade. And Jeannie Buss said, well, talk to LeBron and let us know what he says. And LeBron said no. If LeBron doesn't say no anymore, then maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who knows? I mean, I don't know.
No one knows
anything. Right?
Dogs and cats are friends. Like, I don't even understand what's happening anymore in the world. I'm still not even sure I'm awake. Like
this is
it is 1:30 by you, right?
Yeah, so. It's almost 1:30. Yeah.
Taking a step back, like this is we're 10 years from now, we're going to be talking about this night.
This is a pivot
100%
for two franchises and the league.
This is going to forever be the anything can happen in the NBA. Like this is an insane night. Like Keith, like this is we joke all the time and reminisce all the time about. Remember that night we were up at 2 a.m. and Kevin Durant got traded and we were live and all that. Now we're going to be talking about this.
Without a doubt. Yeah, this is just the biggest trade I can ever remember like this. I mean, these are two, like, basically, let's call them in their prime superstars getting traded for each other in the middle of the season.
You just don't see trades
and I keep going back to, this was so crazy that literally everyone, I think, except for Shams and probably his ESPN cohorts, who I assume he tipped off, I'm about to tweet, like, or I'm hitting send right now. Like, we're like, I think he got hacked. Like, this is a hack. Like, this is not real. So I can't even, like,
this goes down in NBA lore. Like Woj's good Lord tweet from way back when. We're going to say, remember the time everyone thought Shams was hacked?
Yep.
That's going to be a thing.
Having to see a reporter say, yes, this is real.
Yeah. Which then made me think even more.
That made me think even more that he was hacked, that it was somebody, 100%. Especially because Shams, I went and looked and I'm like, on a Drew Eubanks trade, Shams had a graphic that went up with it. You know what
that tells me? So big.
Didn't have time.
I don't have time, and I can't risk.
I can't tell a graphics guy.
The graphics guy who's going to text his boy and
just got to get it out.
Luka for AD, like, and then things start because I mean, it was literally every NBA media person was like, I don't know, and then you started seeing beat writers on both sides. You started seeing general media then that trade is real. Like, this is a real thing that's happening. Like, I keep seeing, and I mean, this is the fastest the chat has ever scrolled. This is I can't remotely keep up. People keep saying, is there any way people keep saying David Stern would veto this? Is there any way Adam Silver would do it? No, there's no reason to veto this trade.
No,
like, this is
Adam Silver is smiling and thinking about all the engagement the NBA is getting right now.
He's like, the NFL's off for the weekend and now we own it. Right? Like,
exactly. From Adam Silver's perspective, the only way this would be any better is if this happened on Super Bowl Sunday.
Right? Yeah. As much as I love my beloved NBA, I still don't think that would have been I don't think we're bumping them. But I mean, people are, can you imagine how many people are going to wake up tomorrow? Too,
God. People
are going to wake up. People are going to wake up and they're going to look at their phones because nobody's looking at a paper anymore. And they're going to go, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like, unbelievable.
I've got so many people texting me asking me if this is real.
Now.
Like, just now.
Yeah, still. Yeah. Yep. Which tells me, people are waking up around the world. And
Joao was still stunned in Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, happy and sad at the same time. Yeah. Hey, guys, De'Aaron Fox and Jimmy Butler are still going to get traded at some point.
Right? I can't even.
Luka Doncic got traded before Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Just sit with that.
Can we go back to, because I mean, and I get it, like, people love AD, right? And he won a title for the Lakers. Fully get that. Luka is like 25 years old too. All right. Some people are tweeting stuff. I've seen now a couple things. Luka was pushing 270 pounds. I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen him play, and
he's listed as 230 on Basketball Reference.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not. Let's see what he looks like when he's on the court here in another week or so. Before we get too crazy with that, but I don't know. I mean, this is just
pushing 270, posting MVP numbers. I'll still take it.
Yeah,
Keith, people thought Lakers Nation, when I put the title on here, people thought Lakers Nation was hacked.
Yeah. And I saw somebody say I was ready to block both your shows because I was like, why the hell are we doing a live show making up fake trades in the middle of the night?
Right.
So
we don't need engagement that bad.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Trust me, I wasn't getting up at 12:30 or whatever time we started this to do, hey, let's play fake trades tonight. Like I love you guys, but no, we can play
just
fake
on a
trade
random,
tomorrow.
just on a random Saturday night.
Yeah, how was your Saturday night? Well, this is how my Saturday night was. Like,
God.
I mean, we broke it down. We showed you what it looks like in the trade machine. Trade, fully legal as is stated here. With this, I'm going to guess nothing else gets added in here, and it just goes. Did you see? I think it was Andy Larson, who covers the Jazz, added the Jazz are sending the minimum cash to the Lakers and Mavericks, like $55K.
Is that just the touch rule?
Yeah, it's not even really that they only needed to send something out on to one of the two, but I'm guessing it's here you go, like you can have the 55K.
Oh, all right. You want to hear some irony then? The Clippers were sending cash to the Jazz in the earlier trade today, so the Clippers are helping get Luka to the Lakers.
Yeah,
that must feel so good.
That cash is getting rerouted, and it's I'm gonna believe that that's what happened. The Clippers' money got used to send Luka to LA to the Lakers.
They Jake Fisher just reported Dallas had been contacting teams this week looking to reroute additional salary for a potential 3-team deal. A bunch of teams knew Mavericks were getting close to making a trade. Nobody knew it was trading Luka Doncic.
Wow,
just zero, dude. No one knew. You don't. That never happens now. Never.
Yeah, that tells me this was Nico Harrison, Rob Pelinka, and the ownership group, and that's probably it.
And nobody else talked about it.
On a conference call in the office.
Yep,
no
and that was it. It was this is probably one of those ones too. Any part of this leaks out, then we all walk away, and we're not doing it. So we got to keep this super quiet.
So Chris Haynes reported AD was initially shocked, but as of right now, he's feeling good about the situation moving forward.
Yeah, they did him a solid by trading him to a good team.
Yeah. I mean, you can make an argument, because we don't know where Luke is at health wise right now, that the Mavericks could finish the rest of this year better than the Lakers. Long term, I mean, you gave up Luka Doncic, like
that's a generational talent. You gave up.
Yeah. You gave up a perennial top 5 MVP candidate. Like, this is just crazy.
The Mavs got to the finals with this team last year, and they added Clay to this team,
and Najee Marshall.
Marshall. Are they better right now? Did the Mavs get better with this trade?
I don't think so, because I think they need
another wing.
You need Luka in the playoffs. Like, you're putting a lot of the offensive burden now on Kyrie Irving. As much as we like AD, he's still a dependent player largely, right? He is not somebody who you just throw the ball to and say, all right, go out there and make it happen. He can do some of that, but he still gets a lot of his baskets are still assisted. So that's the thing. But yeah, I mean, on the flip side, who knows when Derek Lively plays again this year? Like, so now Dallas will start AD, PJ Washington, Klay Thompson, shooting guard X, and Kyrie Irving, probably like
Max Christie.
Grimes. Yeah, Max Christie. Yeah, probably Max Christie eventually when he's fully ingrained there. And they were very. I had heard they were very like, we want a 3-and-D wing. Like, that's what we really need is a 3-and-D wing. So now you got one of those two and a big. So I mean, you're really
this is actually a really good point here. Shane chimes in. Can you imagine if this had dropped during the game? This came out an hour plus after the game.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if this was, when did this get done, and did they have to hold it until the players were gone from the game? Like, I'm curious about how that worked out.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. You're probably right on that. I bet this was, hey, hold off on leaking it till our game ends. We clear the locker room, because the last thing you need is everybody running over and being like, hey, and that tells me, again, how quiet this was. The Lakers were in New York. The Lakers travel with 9 million media members following them. Plus, now you're in the biggest city in the country. if there was any inkling this was out there, somebody would have asked.
Yeah.
Someone would have asked LeBron, someone would ask JJ. They, it would have been asked. So,
yeah. For
this
sure.
This means JJ gets to coach another former teammate.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Yeah, that is true.
That's right. Looking at Luka's salary, $43 million this season, $46 million next season, player option that he probably won't pick up. They'll work to do an extension this summer, I would imagine. They'll try to get that
yeah,
done.
So what they can do this summer is, because he'd have the year left, so take off this year, right? Take off the 24-25 year, because that'd be done. So he'd have the 1 year left. What he could do is decline on that last year and then go into a extension that way with that. Or the other option is you pick that up and extend off of that. I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll probably decline that, extend and go. Last year will very likely be a player option. Just, when you hit that level as a player, you're going to get that. But yeah, I mean, so pencil him in at 26, 27, just over $50 million first year starting salary. And then they move forward from there.
Something that got thrown out there. Apparently, Darius Soriano mentioned this. The Lakers traded for Pau Gasol on February 1st, 2008. That's funny.
What a way to commemorate a 17-year
anniversary. I was just thinking about this. Replaces the Pau trade as the most shocking trade, like out of nowhere. Wait, the Lakers got who? How'd they get that guy type of trade? And now it's, oh my God, it's the same day. The Lakers got Luka. Unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy stuff. Like and now you've got your franchise guy, for the foreseeable future here, though, because they'll absolutely extend him as soon as they can and go from there.
T said this seems like the ultimate betrayal on AD and an early exit for LeBron. So disappointing, man. Don't understand it. It's all about the future. It's all about the future here for the Lakers. I don't know if they would consider this a betrayal or not. Does Luka consider it a betrayal from the Mavs? Each guy is gonna. I'm sure they will let their thoughts, be known. An early exit for LeBron, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what LeBron thinks about this and where all of this goes. If this turns into before Thursday, if this turns into a LeBron trade as well, this will be officially like the most insane trade deadline we have ever seen.
Most insane week in Laker history. Oh God.
Yeah, if this goes into a LeBron trade, like who even hey, that's just unreal. If that ends up happening, like that would just be wouldn't even remotely.
But the wildest part is that we have to talk about it because it's a serious possibility now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. LeBron for Jimmy Butler. I think that'll be a thing. No. But sure. LeBron does have a no trade clause. A couple people are asking that in the chat. Yes, he does. He is
right.
He and Bradley Beal have the only two negotiated no trade clauses in the league. So, yeah, I mean, that could come. I mean, they're clearly not just going to send him anywhere. So,
yeah,
what did he say? He would never come to Orlando to play again. So, I don't think he's going to be on the Magic anytime soon.
Oh, the Lakers play the Mavs coming up, I guess, in a few weeks. Something like
really?
that. I don't know. Somebody was saying that. Wow.
Celtics play the Mavericks next week, but before Luka was supposed to be back.
Wow. Yeah, this is the real RKO out of nowhere. Yeah.
There really is.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy night, right? A big win for the Lakers and
big win against the Knicks
tonight. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. God, I mean,
I covered the game too, and I forgot.
It's amazing how much everything has changed.
I mean, I think this was Rob Pelinka. Like, I can't let the Clippers monster trade upstage me today. I got to do something else.
After getting Drew Eubanks,
yeah, that was
happy birthday, massive. Drew Eubanks. You're being traded.
Yeah. Sneaky, good trade for the Clippers.
Good trade. Yep.
Eubanks is a huge upgrade over Mo Bamba. They get out of it. They're under the tax now too, which is crazy. So
yeah,
the Mavericks will play the Lakers on February 25th in LA.
Wow,
right. That'll be fun. Is that
I'll be back in town for that.
Hopefully that's like a TNT game or something.
It's
gonna be.
It is on. Hold on. What is February 25th? That is a Friday.
So that would be an ESPN game then.
Yep.
On a Friday. Shams just tweeted. Now he's got a graphic.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry. 25th is a Tuesday.
1,000% real. Oh, Tuesday. So that's a TNT night then.
Wow.
Wrong month. Sorry. Can't even keep my month straight.
He's got Luka in a Lakers jersey and AD in a Mavs jersey. Unbelievable.
Luka in the 77. Has anybody ever worn 77 for the Lakers before?
I can't think of anyone.
Who was it?
I feel like is that
this is a good trivia question.
Vladimir Radmanovich, maybe?
No, he wore.
That's a good guess.
I don't think he wore. No.
I'm looking right now just to see because I can't recall.
Vlad wore number 10.
Yo, yeah, Vlad wore 10. I'm searching Lakers 77 and it's a lot of Luka photoshops.
No,
Same.
Nobody has. I'm on Basketball Reference.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's worn 77.
Robin wore 73.
Yep.
Christian Yenga and Markieff Morris both wore 88.
There you go.
Also remember that. Yeah, Christian Yenga. That's a Laker lore trivia question too.
Markieff Morris just pull that one out of the closet and give it back to him.
Yeah, right.
Markieff, like, your number back.
I'm ready. Hey, what about Maxi Kleber? Not had a good season shooting the ball.
Yeah.
He's going to the Lakers too.
He comes to the Lakers. What do we think about him? Looking at him under contract this year and next year for $11 million per season. 3-point shooter, beat the Lakers with a big three. What was that, last season or season before last? That one hurt. But thoughts on the Lakers getting him? Is he washed or where are we at on him?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good kind of bonus pickup in this for the Lakers. Provided he can find the shot again.
And he's hurt, right?
He's hurt. He broke his foot last weekend. So he's going to be out for a while. They haven't put out a timeline yet, so we'll see. It's going to be a little bit on him, but yeah, so you can get him back, maybe let's say end of March, early April, let him play himself into shape. You get a decent rotation forward in the mix there. But I mean, now let's see. I mean, now he kind of falls into he can't really play the 5. And he can't play the 3, so he's really more of a pure 4. Which the Lakers just get a lot of guys that play, those forward spots now. So, but I mean, not the end of the world. Also, that's probably not immediate, but that's a nice deal to be able to put into a deal this summer.
That's what I was going to say.
When you're retooling the roster a little bit,
another $11 million expiring.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, you throw him in with Rui's contract or with Gabe Vincent if they're still around, and go get you somebody else.
Wow.
Somebody just said, "What if Luka doesn't re-sign and just leaves when his contract is up?" Well, then
the Lakers will be trading him too.
Yeah, this would be a major failure then. If that's how it goes down. But
yeah, and let's face it, if they offered him an extension this summer and he says no, then it's the same. It's the same situation as De'Aaron Fox, right? It would be okay. Yeah. He's on the trade market then.
Yeah, and I mean let's be real though. That's not going to happen.
No.
Right? It's he's gonna stay and be with the Lakers long term. It'll just be a matter of what they agree to extension wise.
Yeah, Keith, I know it's nearly 2 a.m. your time. If you need to hop out at any time, just let me.
I'm good. I'm going to be up for a while because I got to write now.
Okay.
So I will bail out eventually, but yeah, I'm just kind of. I mean, as long as we're still getting these little snippets of news like
that are coming in.
Yeah, let's let this keep playing out.
So, looking at this for the Lakers long term, you get your guy, you get Luka, you get your guy that you're now going to build around moving forward. You get your star post LeBron, and I think there was, and that's why this makes sense for the Lakers. The team right now is in disarray, but let's see what the team looks like on Friday. Let's see what the team looks like on Friday when the trade deadline is come and gone. The dust is all settled, and that's where we're at. And see where we're at that point. But there was uncertainty, right? I was just asked. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was this morning. Who the hell knows? Time has lost all meaning. I was just asked, are you okay? In fact, yeah, no, it was this morning. I was asked by Jonathan Macri on the Knicks show that I did. How comfortable are you building around AD post LeBron? And I said, well, it depends on how much longer of LeBron do we have. Is it LeBron retires after this year? Then you've got a 31 AD going on 32, okay, right? LeBron plays 2 more years, 3 more years. The next thing you know, if 33, 34-year-old AD is inheriting the team, that's probably a little bit of a different story. Now that question is gone. Now that uncertainty of are you going to hit a point where post LeBron, maybe LeBron walks away and then AD says, you know what, I'm out too, trade me, and then you're in a full rebuild. The Lakers, by doing this, have guaranteed that's not the path they're going to go down. And I know people don't want to hear about the financial side of things. People just want to hear about on-court, how do you win? That's the way fans look at it, and that's the way fans should look at it. But from the financial perspective, this guarantees that the Lakers are going to continue to have eyeballs on for the next decade, beyond just being the Lakers, but they're going to have a primetime star that's going to have them on national TV, all of that, in a way that I don't know that they would if AD is the guy post LeBron.
I'm just going to say this is probably the only time ever that the Lakers could have ever gotten Luka Doncic. This is
fair.
I just can't imagine them making this sort of move like in the summer or something. Like it's just one of those things where like it's that golden opportunity that you just have to take every time. And I think I'm with everyone on the Lakers side where I'm really sad of how this is coming down, but the fallout, actually, I think the Lakers end up well long-term here. And I think that's what we should be focusing on.
Yeah, exactly. This is the long-term play for the Lakers.
I need to hop, but
okay.
It was fun doing this with you guys. We'll presumably still be freaking out, but this is wild. Hope to wake up and it's all true.
All right. Hey, Matt, thanks for jumping in with us.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Don't go to sleep too late. Have a good one.
Our editor extraordinaire, Daniel Starkan, Keith, just said Brian Windhorst on ESPN says Luka is ramping up right now in his return process, and there's a sense he can be back from his calf injury sometime around the All-Star break. So that's about what we knew, but we're talking about, there's always the possibility we're talking about post All-Star break, which makes me a little more upset that I'll be on vacation then, but he may wind up coming back right before the All-Star break.
Yeah. I think it's funny that this is from Mark Deeks, the original Cap God on the internet, says what better way is there to punish someone you seemingly really hate for some reason than to send them to the Los Angeles Lakers to play with LeBron James?
Oh man.
Right, because now you're hearing all that stuff of like, well, they were upset with him, and
they didn't like him, and right.
I mean, there's going to be a million things, that come out on that. So, I mean, crazy.
Troy,
we're
truly looking for a top defensive player star in the Luka trade. Are there any other stars in the league that would have made sense besides AD? Like, what? I wonder how much canvassing and then how much buzz would that have created if the Mavs had talked to a bunch of teams around the league?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? And I said that there's got to be teams that are like, hey, why did you not shop him to everybody? Because I mean, you're talking every pick we have, right? Like we're gonna go, for this guy. I mean, again, he's 25 and he's a top 5 MVP candidate every single season. Like that's not like, don't focus on what his flaws are, because if we're gonna focus on can't really play defense, is not in great shape. Yeah, same thing with Nikola Jokic, and he might win his 4th straight MVP or his 4th MVP, this year. Like, that's like don't focus on what guys aren't. Focus on what they are. And Luka is, he's an offensive machine. He's an incredible player. So yeah, I really, I think this is, in the short term, I don't know what this is going to mean for either one of these teams. I think the Mavericks might be better off for maybe the rest of this season. But in the long term, I think the Lakers, you got a superstar guy for an older, injury-prone star in AD, still a star, still a great player, and 1 first-round pick. Like, I would do that probably 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, like we said a bunch of times, this is insane. We didn't see this coming at all, but this is a move that for the Mavs could actually make them better this year. Yeah. But it's still surprising. It's certainly, for the future for the Mavs, unless they believe Luka is Bo Callahan or something like that, and somehow he's a bust from here on out or something like that. Yeah. Like the Mavs are now, what is Kyrie, 33? Something like that?
Yeah, in that range.
And you've got, so now, and then you have AD. The Mavs now, their window with their 2 guys now, AD and Kyrie. There's now
Kyrie turns 33 at the end of March.
So that's not, that obviously that's a much shorter term, build here for the Mavs than what they were looking at previously.
And if you're the Mavericks, one of the things you're looking at now is AD's already signed, right? So we already have that contract. We're not in, it's way less than what Luka would have gotten, because he would have Los Angeles Lucas. If you just leave it Lucas, it sounds like me saying it. So it's but yeah, it's so if you go into that part of it, if I'm the Mavs, it's like, all right, AD is going to make considerably less when his extension kicks in here soon than what Luka would make on the Supermax, and they weren't going to be not giving him the Supermax, so that gives you a little more flexibility to get Kyrie re-signed, still continue to build out the roster and go. So I don't like it for Dallas, because I'm struggling with the whole, like, it's Luka, like that part just, is just, kills me. They went through so much to get him and all that. So that part is, I don't love that part, but I can at least understand how they kind of got there.
So I'm seeing there was a National Texas Day thing that the Mavs apparently put out like 10 hours ago. And it's got Luka stepping out of a car and wearing a cowboy hat and all this stuff. So I don't know how far along these talks were at this point, but also he doesn't look like insanely overweight or anything for everybody who's worried about that.
Yeah, that part I'm not really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This comment says, go get Kessler now. Fits Luka's timeline. Reeves 6th man or traded. Reach, but could be possible. Destination, the short future for Booker. Win right now for Mavs, but we win this trade over the years. Yeah, as far as Walker Kessler, I wonder, does this, there's a line in the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith, no relation to my colleague here, Keith Smith, but the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith that is played.
LeBron apparently is tweeted.
Oh.
I'm trying to get it to load. My tweet deck is now locked up.
LeBron has grown frustrated. Oh, CBS Sports had somebody, Bill Ryder said LeBron had grown frustrated with Anthony Davis, and LeBron says, you're an effing liar.
Oh, man. So, that doesn't, I don't think LeBron was. That's nothing I've ever heard.
No.
All I've ever heard is those 2 guys were in lockstep until a couple hours ago, on trying to figure out what the right guys are. So
So LeBron is saying, if you're saying that I was frustrated and mad at AD, that's not true. That's what that I was saying. My point was, there's a line in the movie where both Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie realize that the other one is a secret agent or assassin or whatever, just like they are, right? And they say to each other, we're going to have to redo every conversation we ever had. That's Rob Pelinka on the trade market right now. He's like, we have to redo all of our trade talks are now totally reset, and we have to redo everything. We have to redo every trade conversation we've had now has to be redone because everything has changed.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny too because I've seen people be like, "How does anybody in the league now say, sorry, this player's untouchable?" Like if Luka Doncic can get traded out of nowhere, like, and that goes back to. I say this all the time. People love to say things like, oh, no, those guys are untouchable for us. No, you need a lot for them. Sure. They would be hard to give up in a trade. Sure. But untouchable. No, I always say there's like 5 to 10 untouchable guys in the league. I don't know. Maybe it's 3. Like I really, maybe it's none now. I really don't know. Like, this is just, really, really crazy.
Can we all agree that the Lakers have failed LeBron? The front office is not serious about winning and only interested in the business side of things. You are 5th in the West. You are 1 to 2 pieces away, and you gave up Max. People were upset. Max was a kid we saw grow for the last 3 years, and he's been a good, or the last few years. He's been he just had one of his best performances as a Laker, I think, tonight against the Knicks. I don't know that this means they're not serious. I mean, this is them trying to secure the next decade and not just trying to go all in to try to win this season. I don't think they've necessarily failed LeBron or what. I mean, I guess if you're like Keith, that's the perspective that I don't look through that lens. I don't look through the player fan lens. If you're a LeBron fan right now, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, that's the difficult part, right? We've talked about this is there's LeBron fans, there are Laker fans. The two are, I see it nightly in your show. They're often at odds. And I can see the side if it is, hey, you're prioritizing the future when you are playing right now, or playing well right now. What are you doing? Why would you do this? And I could also see the side where it is like, hey man, like the franchise needs to take care of themselves. That's where they need to go. So, I mean, I guess I see kind of both sides of that argument there. I don't agree that the Lakers have failed. I mean, they won a title. Like, that's, you didn't fail anything. Won the title. It made the playoffs most years together. So, yeah, I'm not, I don't know. I'm not going to go too crazy on that side saying they failed them. I do think this is maybe them taking back the franchise a little bit, if you want to call it that. Yeah. So, which that is, is what it is.
I think that there's a number of fans, LeBron fans that are responding in the chat right now that have said they hate it. And I get it from that because if you're a LeBron fan, there's a couple things. First of all, your window is now and maybe next year or whatever, and that's it. So if the team got better for the next 10 years, that doesn't matter. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about this year, next year, and that's about it. Maybe the year after that, who knows how much longer LeBron plays. And now you've got a team that's in disarray. And so your potential to win right now, depending on how things look on Friday after the trade deadline, well, maybe your potential to win right now has diminished because we just saw the team starting to gel. Things were coming together. They were a piece or two away from maybe being able to make some real noise, all of that. And now everything has been just torn up, right? And it's all in disarray now. In that sense, if you wanted LeBron to have a shot to win this year, that may have been diminished, depending on who knows what's next, depending on what things look like on Friday, maybe that's diminished. So if you're a LeBron fan, you might decide, you know what, this was not okay. And maybe, who knows, maybe LeBron asks for a trade after this. I don't know. Sure. But for the Lakers, from an organizational perspective, I get why they would do this. So I can see why, like a lot of people going around that are on the Lakers side saying we hate this, maybe look at it from the LeBron perspective. And I could understand why, from a LeBron fan perspective, you wouldn't like that this happened.
Yeah, I'll say this as well. Like, we just spent an hour and a half really breaking this down and reacting to it. But let's see what's there, right? It's I mean, we both love the movie Draft Day more than probably any two individuals should.
Should is the right word. Yes, should.
But what he's like, will you just let me do my job? let me do my job. And if in 2 hours or whatever it is, if you see if you want to coach this team, right? Like that's part of like, let's see what happens here, right? Like, I don't know if they're done. Let's see what happens with this.
Yeah, we'll see where they actually go here for this, and how Rob Pelinka now pivots and puts the pieces together. I'll tell you this, Keith. The problem is with how secretive all this is. So one of the things I have praised Rob Pelinka for the most was when Kawhi said no, he had a very cohesive and solid backup plan in place. And it was not another star, but he went and remember Danny Green signed, and they got all these other Boogie Cousins, and they added the guys that wound up being the role players on a championship team, essentially, right? So he had as soon as Kawhi said no, it was boom, 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 boom. It was all lined up, right? And he got it done. He will not have had the opportunity to do that in this situation because of how secretive it all had to be. So now he has to pivot with less than a week and make those subsequent moves under a ticking clock. That is going to be a real challenge.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, the good news is held back one of the first round picks.
Yeah.
The only one went in this trade. They've got matching salary that they can put into deals now because now you've redone your roster to a large extent here. So you're in a spot where, yeah, let's see, because we can all look at it and say, all right, they need a 5, right? We all know that. Now the question is, who's that 5 going to be? Where are you going to go? And I'll be pretty surprised if there's not another deal. I mean, certainly not going to be as big as this deal because that would be almost impossible. But like, let's see where they go, next. Like I would be shocked if they don't make a deal for a starting level center to bring in it. And it could be something like, hey, we're going to move Gabe Vincent for Robert Williams or something like that.
I was going to ask you about him. Would you take that chance?
Smaller? That's really tough, man, just because of the injury stuff. I would want somebody who's just more reliable.
Yeah.
Like just somebody I could really trust is going to be on the floor. But yeah, I mean, you got to be open to all kinds of stuff now, all kinds of, ideas of like, things maybe you weren't, like we talked about before. Austin Reeves wasn't really on the table. Is he on the table now? Now are you open to listening to deals for Austin Reeves? Because all right, well, we've got Luka. Him and Austin aren't a great fit together. All right, maybe we can. Austin Reeves by himself, probably not going to get you too much just because the salary is so low.
So you're right, but if you salary.
Put him with Rui, that's $30 million in salary that you could send out there, and that could kind of turn into a really interesting place with that.
Vegas odds for Lakers chip this year improved from 40-1 to 18-1. Yeah, but keep in mind they're going off of what people will bet. Yeah. Not necessarily what they believe is actually going to happen or not happen. That's sometimes that can be telling, right? Sometimes odds can tell us something, especially when odds shift before news comes out, because people find out, but still, I do think it's interesting that in this, the Lakers held on to one of their first, and they held on to Austin Reeves, and they held on to Dalton Connect. I wouldn't have thought, if you told me beforehand, I would not have thought that would have been possible. Yeah. In any kind of a trade like this. Yeah. Now I go, obviously they gave up AD, and so that's also not the piece that I would have expected that they were going to give up in any kind of a trade here. But that to me is fairly surprising that they held on to all of those pieces in this trade.
So, the Trailblazers Twitter is like winning.
What are they doing?
They tweeted, "Yes, this is real. 7 Trailblazers in double figures, complete team effort to secure the dub." It's just so funny. I mean, good for them having a little bit of fun here at 2 a.m. Eastern time with this. I mean, that's it. Yeah, there's going to be a reset period now, right? The good news is AD was going to be out for a week or so anyway. So like whatever JJ had planned for the next week, other than Max Christie's gone, you don't really need to tweak it too much.
Yeah.
You just kind of move forward with that. So we didn't really talk much about the Jazz part of it, but good for the Jazz today. Both moves,
they got 2 seconds for an expiring contract. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. And if Jalen Hood-Schifino looks any better than what he's looked like,
He's hurt still too.
They'll go. Yeah, he's still hurt, but if they can get him on the floor for the last 20-ish games or so, and hey, what does it look like, and see where it goes? We've seen Danny Ainge before too. He loves prospects who were like super highly thought of coming in, and didn't, and then kind of fell as things went along. So, maybe they'll get something out of it. But I mean, of course they jumped in and get a couple more picks. Probably need to update my Sam Presti meme because he's not so much collecting draft picks and now make it about Danny Ainge. Right. That's kind of where it is. But yeah, I mean, this is, good work by them today. Good work by the Clippers today in a small trade that got completely blown out of the water.
Right.
And no one cares with that. So yeah,
dude, I talked about that on that trade. I broke that trade down on the Basketball Bulletin, and I had somebody in the comments that was saying like, who cares or whatever. This is a small trade. This isn't this is a dud of a deadline. I'm like, this is the 6th trade already. They said, yeah, but this isn't what we're talking about. And I'm talking about like, this is not exciting at all or whatever. And I just responded, just wait. Now that seems like the most, like I knew. So I did not know this was coming. I knew there would be stuff happening. I don't think anyone thought this was coming. I do want to mention this. So reportedly, Dave McMenamin from ESPN was just on and said the Lakers think they can still win this year, and they have until Thursday to get a big. And guess what? They still have that 1st-round pick they can use for that center. So that's now goal number 1 for the Lakers. Go find that big. Keith, let me throw it to you. In an ideal world, that 2031 pick is used. Who is that center?
Yeah, I mean, without getting stupid about it.
Sure.
I guess
assuming LeBron doesn't ask to go, or it's LeBron and Luka, you're now building your team around.
And the nice thing now too is because you have now 2 of the better passing wings in the league. Mm-hmm. That's really what LeBron and Luka are. You could go with like Clint Capella now, right? Because he's a really good finisher around the rim and would give you defense and rebounding. You could get there salary wise with that one. I would at least call on Miles Turner and find out all right, how committed are you here? I mean, the easy ones are Valanciunas, right? That's a pretty easy one to get to. A couple people were like, should they go after DeAndre Ayton? I'd probably not.
And getting there salary wise is tough on Ayton.
Yeah, there's just better, cheaper options than going that one. I would call the Nets and be like, hey, Nick Claxton, could we do something there? Because some of these guys, you may not even have to give up the pick, right? Yeah. Vucevic,
you shouldn't have to give up a first for him, right? Yeah,
exactly. Maybe call Toronto, find out. We know you said you didn't want to move Jakob Poeltl, but
how about now?
What about now? Now, what if we said Rui in that 2031 first? Does that change your mind on Jakob Poeltl? All right, maybe it does. No, that's where if I'm the Lakers, that now I'm open to. I'm making all the calls, right?
Yeah.
I've started the process the minute this one was agreed to, and just I'm going to be hammering the phone line. Yeah, Walker Kessler's kind of the super ideal target that's semi-realistic. Because we could get stupid and be like, go get Evan Mobley, but that's not going to be a thing. So, I shouldn't say that anymore because that's who the hell knows what's a thing anymore. Now I don't even know if any of that's valid. Yeah, I mean, you could call Orlando for Goga Bitadze. What's your willingness to maybe move him? But yeah, I'm going to be in on all kinds of at least having the conversation, finding out this is what I have. Well, what can we do?
And I think what's interesting here is what people will jump to. Well, if you were going to trade for Walker Kessler, they would have just put him in this deal. You would have traded him. Not necessarily. But the problem is this is also secretive.
Yeah.
Obviously it was kept extremely quiet, which is so hard to do in this day and age, that I don't know that you can't let it slip that, hey, we're okay with giving up all this stuff now because we've got something else going on in your conversations with Utah. You have to redo that conversation probably.
Shout out to Danny Ainge for finally getting involved in an AD trade.
Yeah.
That was supposed to happen in Boston a million years ago. But I mean, that's all right. I'll say this too. It sometimes, if you try to make a trade bigger, it just comes with all these other complications.
Sure.
So sometimes it's easier to step away. We got this one done. Now we can do this because you can do the Kessler trade in a lot of different ways because he makes so little money.
So little.
Yeah, so that's a very easy thing to do other ways. If you're the Lakers, where you could go back, to that. Nothing says you can't. Yeah, you're 100% right. The people who said you could throw him in there. I've seen some people say Wendell Carter Jr. He can't be traded at the trade deadline because of his extension. So he can't be moved. So yeah.
How do 23 Beats says, do you think the trade prices have gone up from other teams now? I can't see them wanting to help the Lakers now. I mean, in theory, like you wouldn't see the Jazz wanting to help. This is the second trade with the Lakers now that the Jazz have been involved with. They took the Russell Westbrook trade. Yep. But I don't know. When teams around the NBA said, well, no, you guys just made a big trade and we're not going to trade. No, if there's a good deal for them, they're going to make it.
Yeah, that's exactly. You evaluate it independently. It's the Thunder aren't going to jump in and help the Lakers make an upgrade, right? If the Lakers are like, hey, we really want Isaiah Hartenstein, they're probably not going to do that, right? Because why would we make you better to maybe knock us out? But if you're talking to all the teams we were throwing around, those teams aren't going to have any thoughts on that at all. They're going to be like, okay, cool. But is the trade good for us? Who cares? Because, let's be real. The Jazz, the Hawks, those teams aren't winning the title anyway. So they don't, and they're not Western Conference teams, some of them. So yeah, you're going to make the best deal for yourself if you can there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it's going to be. I don't think teams are going to refuse to trade just because the Lakers got Luka. They're not going to refuse to trade them. Just like teams aren't going to refuse to, oh no, you got better with AD. We think you have a better shot this year now. We're not going to trade with you anymore. No, teams, if the deal's good for them, they're still going to make the trade.
100%. Yeah. If it's the right deal for you, you make it and you just go.
Yeah. Yep. Jackson Hayes will be better with Luka. I mean, sure. Any lob catching big is better with Luka. No question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No question.
That's why I threw out a guy like Clint Capella, right? Like he's really good around the rim. He's a really solid defender still. You also have the benefit of it's an expiring deal. So if it works out, great. You can re-sign him at a decent contract moving forward. If it doesn't, you let him go and you kind of move on because clearly the Lakers have work to do now and they're going to have work to do this summer too. Because there's a lot of reorienting of this roster that's going to need to happen here over the next little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole team shifts. Everything shifts. Keith, I guess I've got people in the chat talking about everybody wants to boil it down to who won the trade. And let me just say because all of the focus and forever will be on the Lakers and the Mavs in this trade.
Sure.
I think the Jazz actually win here. It's not like it's a huge win, but you took an expiring salary. So a good chunk of that contract has already been paid, right? Because here it's February now. Yep. So you got 2 second-round picks for less than half of a season of an expiring salary. Like that is a no-brainer for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they did. Yeah. Just for picking up the phone, being available at, I don't know what time that was, 10 o'clock at night in Utah on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, that probably tells you how rockin' Salt Lake City was Saturday night. But yeah. I mean,
aside from that though, because I think that's great for the Jazz. It's not a big deal, but it's great. It's great. Who wins this trade?
In the short term right now, the Mavericks. In the long term, the Lakers.
Yeah. I called this trade when Dallas was in 4th place. Yeah, I wonder this could matter for the I mean, I'm talking about for the standings. This could matter how things shake out. But yeah, and that really goes back to what we've been saying all shows, that the long term, this is incredible for the Lakers long term. Short term, this season, who knows? It depends on what the team looks like. But even let's say all the chips fall into place and they get whatever mystery center that's going to be in there, and their team is you're starting Austin, DFS, LeBron, Luka, and this center, and that's your starting lineup, and then your bench pieces you fill out, and there you go. Let's say they do that. It's still going to take time to adjust everything to play. And not just the players. It's going to take time for JJ Redick to, hey, I just built an offense. I've been throwing in all this stuff around these guys, and now we brought in this piece that is totally different that we now have to, now I've got to figure out to run stuff with LeBron and Luka on the floor at the same time, and how do I make that work? And I have to do all this. That will take time. And typically those types of hiccups that are going to be created by that, you're still building that chemistry. That's the kind of stuff that can typically trip you up in the postseason. Sometimes teams come together though, and they're just immediate great fits and instant success. Keith, your Celtics, when you guys got KG and Ray Allen and those pieces, then you went immediately won. The Lakers in 2020, they added, and Porzingis coming in, immediate fit. The Lakers in 2020, when they got the pieces they did, it was like day one. I'm talking about media day one. It was like, wait, all these guys feel like they've been together a lot longer. But that's rare. Usually there are growing pains. And so that's something that's going to have to be remembered here as all of this kind of gets pieced together.
Far more on the Lakers side than the Mavericks side. Dallas is going to say, okay, AD, we're going to ask you, we're going to run all the same stuff we ran with Derek Lively, but just more of it. And more touches for you than we would have given him, and we'll get you the ball in your pet spots on the floor and let you do your thing. He's very plug and play. That's one of the great things about AD. There. The other thing for JJ Redick is going to be, right, how do I stagger LeBron and Luka? Because I'm going to probably need to really have one of the two on the floor at all times. And that also will give them enough space in those lineups where they can have the ball a lot. They can do that. Neither one of them is a great off-ball player, right? So that's another change you need to make. How do we do that? Probably going to look to run a lot of actions with them together, right? That's something that I feel really confident he'll figure out. It's just going to take a little bit. Luka's going to come in, and there's potential. It could be pretty bumpy for the first handful of games while they're sorting through everything and figuring it out. And because a lot of times what you'll see is like, okay, LeBron likes to operate from there. Yeah. Well, let me make sure I'm out of the way then, because I don't know that's where he wants to be. And then LeBron's going to be like, oh, man, like I'm used to, I come off and AD's here. Well, now Luka's over here instead. And those will be the things that they'll figure out. That's why I kind of said they really need the All-Star break, because they need the kind of mini camp that comes on the back end of that to really get in the gym and practice, because presumably, again, it's going to be somebody else, coming in too. So, I think they'll be, they're going to be fine, eventually. It's just going to take a little bit. It'll take time. It's just gonna take time. Yeah, a couple people keep saying DeAndre Ayton, like that is,
and so much salary you have to stack up to get there. I think the bottom line is it's defense, it's rebounding, it's rim protection, and then for any other player you're adding that's not a center, you're talking about shooting. In addition to those things that I mentioned, that's what you need. And that's not that much different than what I've talked about a lot as far as what you need to build around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but just now you need to find a big as well. But the pieces around LeBron and Luka have to be guys who can defend at a high level and shoot the three. And that doesn't, the big doesn't have to be able to shoot the three, but everybody else needs to. And that's it. That's what you're looking for now. You put enough of those guys around LeBron and Luka, and then roll the ball out there. That's what you do.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still going back to, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah. Is this the most shocking NBA moment you've ever seen?
Yeah, it's way, way up, like in a non-awful way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, man, like this is just, this is like, just the fact that it came completely out of nowhere. Like even the KD trade, it came out of nowhere when it happened, but we had an idea something could happen.
Yes.
There was no sense that anybody other than apparently the Lakers and the Mavericks thought Luka Doncic might be on the move for Anthony Davis. Like nobody thought that was even a thing. We'll go back to the fact that everybody was like, Shams got hacked. Right? Like we all thought it. We all had the same thought. He got hacked.
I don't think that's ever happened before. where a newsbreaker has broken news and no one believed it. The initial reaction was no one believed it.
Yeah. Well, and I saw some of the initial reactions were like, somebody needs to wake Woj up for this one moment. And then somebody else said, Woj is in bed, and you know what? He's living life right.
Like, yeah, he's going to wake up in the morning and see it. But he's not going to be up at 2:30 doing this.
Of course not. No, not anymore. So, I mean, really unbelievable. So I went and looked. The Lakers and Mavericks play twice more this season. So Tuesday, February 25th in LA. And then Wednesday, April 9th in Dallas, both national TV games. So that'll be fun. That'll be exciting to see both. Hopefully both guys get their, return game there. So, it is crazy to see. It really feels like, I don't know, I'm seeing some people upset, but I really feel like Lakers fans seem more split on it. Mavericks fans are angry. Just angry and miserable. So
yeah,
and that's their guy, right? So I can kind of get it, but it'll probably be all right for both teams. Like I really think this is going to work out okay for both teams. That was when I got distracted by looking at the schedule. I was pulling up the standings. So yeah, Dallas 26 and 23, 8th right now. So okay. They're what, three games behind the Lakers. That's the other thing that's weird. It's two teams that are, the conference.
They're competing with each other. Yeah,
competing for each other. So that's another fascinating part of this. Like, it's gonna be something.
What do you think about this reaction from Kevin Durant? He was asked after the Suns game tonight. There's video going around of the Suns players reacting to the trade from their bench. They heard about it. Insane. It's crazy. Players are held to different standards of loyalty and commitment to a program, but the outside organizations don't get held to the same standard from the outside.
I say it all the time. I know some of the folks watching are front office show folks. A lot of them are Lakers Nation folks, and then just clearly a whole lot of other new people, which, by the way, subscribe to Lakers Nation, subscribe to Front Office Show. Please hit the like on whatever video you're watching on YouTube. Help that get out there. This is easily going to be the most viewed thing we've ever done on all channels around. So that'll be crazy. But if you don't watch Front Office Show, you guys have heard me say all the time, we always rip a player for saying I want to trade, but we never have said like to a team, like the team enters into that contract too. And we've all as sports fans, and I'm guilty of it too. So I'm calling myself out on this. If a team wants to make a trade, they make a trade. But that's why I never really have a huge problem when a player goes and asks for a trade. I don't like it when it's, I just signed my contract. I don't like it when it's, I'm going to one team and one team only, and they kill the trade value. Like if De'Aaron Fox was out here saying, I'm only Spurs, like anybody else trades for me, like I'm not going to play for you, I want to get to the Spurs, that's not okay. Jimmy Butler and the way he's handled it in Miami, that's obviously not okay. That's complete nonsense. But I don't get worked up when a player asks for a trade, because they're going to turn around and trade the player eventually anyway. I mean, no one, we're in an era where we're going to see very few guys go wire to wire with one team in their career. I mean, I never would have thought Luka would have ever got traded from the Mavericks, and here we are.
Yeah, exactly. I never would have thought this would have happened either. I dropped a couple of links in the chat to Basketball Bulletin as well as the Front Office Show you guys can check out. It was such a shock and such a surprise that this happened. And it does underscore that, there isn't loyalty to a player here. And when you're talking about, again, from the Lakers, from both the financial perspective and the perspective of what their team's, doing for the next decade, it makes sense for them to do this. As far as the Mavs side, could Luka feel betrayed by the Mavs too? Sure, AD could. Look, I'm sure when the Lakers play the Mavs and Anthony Davis, AD is going to have a little something extra for the Lakers, and I'm sure Luka is going to have a little something extra for the Mavs. These players can definitely feel betrayed. They can feel upset, but it's true. I mean, organizations are not necessarily loyal to players either. They put them in trades all the time, and that happens. So It's the way the NBA world works, but it's also part of what makes this league so great and so fun. Is there's so many different things that can happen, and this is just every once in a while, Keith, we get these reminders. As much as people want to say, "Oh no, this will never happen" or "That'll never happen," and all of that, most of the time you're right. Most of the time, crazy stuff just doesn't, because it's too crazy. But sometimes it does, and that's the NBA, right? That's the way that it goes. Sometimes crazy stuff happens, and it's part of what makes this league so magical.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I love that these go all in pick a direction and then go all in. Like I love it. I love that the Mavericks are like, we're doing our thing here. I love that the Lakers are, all right, we're going to do our thing here. Like it's go for it, right? Pick your direction and go. Just sitting in the middle and sitting things out, you get nowhere in this league. You have to be aggressive. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you got to be aggressive to go for it. And I love it. I love that, these guys just kind of went for it. So
absolutely. Both. What?
Somebody in the chat said Luka's just a younger version of Russ.
What?
Yeah, very different players. Yeah, that's crazy town. That's 2:30 in the morning time talking. So
yeah, exactly. It's not even close. It's funny. I was saying on the show on I think it was on Lakers Nation. I don't know. Like I said, time is no meaning. That I thought a trade was going to happen.
We said it on Friday too.
I said on Friday too.
Work this weekend,
folks, I did not mean this. I did not mean this. I had no idea about any of this.
I thought when I texted you this morning and said, I don't think we need to go live for that Clippers Jazz trade. Right. I thought we were out of the woods. I literally had just I finished I watched the Lakers Knicks game. I was kind of starting to drift watching the Trailblazer Suns, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go to bed. And I was just laying down, and I literally was finishing a level on this stupid dumb mobile game I've gotten addicted to when I'm killing time. And I was in my downtime, and then when it jumped out, I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is
you texted me. Is this real or something? Yeah. Or did he get hacked? Yeah, and I said yes. I'm like, he must have been. This isn't. There's no way.
Yeah. And then confirming your own tweet with "this is real." Nothing screams more "I was hacked" than this is real.
Right. What do the Lakers do with Maxey, Kleber, and Morris? Will you wait for Kleber to get healthy?
Yeah.
Could they flip them in other trades? What?
Yeah, by themselves. They can't reaggregate them. And Morris is a minimum guy. I think there's a chance minimum gets, he just gets waived. I think there's a real chance he's not here, in the next little bit. So,
would you consider bringing Reeves off the bench? I mean, I think talent-wise, he's a starter pretty clearly. It really depends on what's on the team after the trade deadline.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I mean, today you're Reeves, Luka, LeBron, Rui, DFS, whoever they feel better with, and then Hayes probably, I would think, there. And yeah.
Let's go here. Let's see. Oh, are you guys going live on Basketball Bulletin? No, Donnie already did, but definitely subscribe. Definitely check it out.
Yeah. Check out the Substack too.
Yes.
Had a lot of stuff. I don't know that I'm going to get to the draft big board update now tomorrow that I was planning on doing, but
here I'm going to drop a link to the Substack in here for everybody to check out. There it is. I think LeBron will ask out, and the Lakers will look to rebuild starting around Luka now, or that we need a Hawks trade ASAP. So, yeah, if LeBron were to ask out, remember he's got a no trade clause, so that would, he would be able to determine where he would. Same situation with Bradley Beal. He would determine where he would go and what the price would be, and all of that. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe LeBron really likes the idea of playing with Luka. Maybe he doesn't. I don't. Apparently, he was not informed of this. How much? That's the other piece. How much does LeBron not like, or I don't know, that he didn't know about this?
Yeah. I mean, That's going to be the thing, right? Or like, do people get caught in their feelings on this one? I've lost it now. Somebody said AD waived his no trade. He didn't waive his no trade. He waived his trade bonus.
Trade bonus,
is
right?
What he waived. So yeah. I think where things are settled now. I don't think we're going to get anything new. I mentioned it before. We're going to have to get news. Someone's going to have to be, traded or waived rather from the Jazz to complete this trade, but they've got options for that. Just, we'll leave it at that. Fairly easy.
So here's a little something here. Dave McMenamin said after the Lakers win over the Knicks, which was like an hour before the trade went down, Anthony Davis was texting players unaware of the trade. He was sending congratulatory text messages about the Lakers' effort in getting the win without him. Then McMenamin said, I'm told there was alignment with ownership, the front office, and the coaching staff on this deal. They believe they found themselves a true transcendent star.
Yeah.
Wow.
Couple thing, Mark Spears. Word is new Mavs forward, Anthony Davis. Interesting. Forward.
The Lakers used that terminology the other day too.
Is good with going to Dallas and has a solid relationship with team president Nico Harrison, dating back to their the latter's Nike days. Now Davis has centers to play next to him in Dallas.
And remember that Jason Kidd, very familiar with coaching Anthony Davis.
Yep. Yeah, that too. Yep. And then Brad Townsend, who's covered the Mavs for years in Dallas, says, I'm told this was Nico Harrison's deal and that it took several weeks to play out after Mavericks out to the Lakers, and that Harrison got full support from Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont, which, remember, it's not Mark Cuban anymore. Brad Townsend also said that the trade call has not happened, but might be coming down still tonight. Well, we'll see.
Okay. So they may still officially call it into the, and that's when we would see the teams when the trade is official, when the teams post about it from their team accounts.
Yeah, and the actual team account, not players or whatever. This is just a funny tweet. There's an 11-year-old in Dallas sleeping really good right now, and the poor kid's going to be brokenhearted when they
in Luka PJs and that's just it. I saw somebody chiming in a little bit ago, said, here it is. Andrew said, just woke up in the UK, right? I mean, people are waking up all over the world going, what? This is a massive trade. Fantastic show, gents. Great to see Keith here too. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks. Yeah, we're live on, I don't know, multiple channels and outlets and all over the place, which is great. We're, this is good time with this. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I mean, Keith, I've lost track of how long I've been live on the air tonight. I think I'm closing in on 7 hours or something total when I add in the game and pregame, postgame, all that. Now this, but wow, this is, nobody saw this coming. Obviously, apparently AD didn't see this coming. Nobody knew this was happening, but here we are. Luka is a Laker. Anthony Davis is a Dallas Maverick. 2 second-round picks and Jalen Hood-Schifino are Utah Jazz is. But wow, you love this league, and thank you everybody for coming in here and hanging out and all of this. Make sure you guys like this again. And man, moments like these, Keith, we're gonna remember this years from now. This was an insane night, absolutely insane. And so glad. I'm glad you were able to jump on and you were still awake when this happened and everything, and we could break all this down together. And thank you everybody else for being here and being part of this.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, the support y'all give us, we love all the time, but we're our numbers are still updating. We're well over 100,000 people popped in at one point in time or another across all the different channels and outlets, which is just that part blows my brain as much as this trade did. But yeah, crazy. I'll have reaction up on Spot Track sometime later this morning, I guess, because it's already Sunday here. Good. No football here. So we'll we'll be able to luxuriate in this for a little bit, and we'll see, when this all gets done. But I mean, what a bonkers blockbuster trade out of nowhere. Just unbelievable. And you're right. This is why we love this league, why we love what we get to do.
Absolutely insane. Incredible stuff. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Oh boy. I'm afraid to go to sleep. Till next time. See ya and stay safe.